Hello there, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, then welcome to the episode. We're not playing a game today. Today we're doing a bit of news. I went to the EB Expo on the weekend. It's why I haven't uploaded a video for a bit and why I've been having a bit of trouble because I was also working on a cosplay, which you can see here. But yes, I went to the EB Expo, which if you're not Australian or you just don't know, it's a gaming expo. I guess it's a really small version of E3. It focuses entirely on games, although the cosplay doesn't, but you know, EB Games is our gaming store, so you gotta assume the EB Expo is about games, right? Well, I went there and I tried a few games, and basically they're games that haven't been talked about enough or haven't come out yet and aren't reviewed that much, and I want to talk to you guys about them so that you know. And then I'm going to do some news about the channel itself. First game though, Killer Instinct. Now I know it came out last year. It's an exclusive for the Xbox One. It's a 1v1 fighting game. Its graphical style is similar to Street Fighter, but with amazing particle effects. And the reason I'm telling you about it is because I played it for the first time at the EB Expo, and when I was looking at it, it didn't have that many characters or anything like that. I was a little bit worried, and I was just like, it's a bit of fun to play with my friend. And it is awesome. Seriously, the combos just keep on going. It's great fun to play. I had a match against one of the champions of the game, basically, which you can see the first 10 seconds of it here again. The person who filmed this was my friend Riz. Very nice of him. He and his girlfriend Rachel were there to help me out with a lot of photos and videos that you'll see throughout this video because I couldn't do them myself, because I'm useless. Their Twitter accounts are in the description below. Moving on, so first off, I recommend everyone get Killer Instinct. I'm going to when I have money again. But the second game that I played was Homefront: The Revolution. I didn't get too much of a gameplay. There wasn't much to play at the time. The demo was quite short, but what you do get to play of it is a lot of fun. I'm not going to go into detail, but atmospherically, it's nailed it. It really feels like you're being oppressed. The Korean, I think, or the Korean and Chinese opponents, it's based off the book Red Dawn, by the way, I'm not making this up. They really are quite worrying. It's hard to fight them. You can't win a full-on fight. It operates similar to the Far Cry 3 and 4 games, though it's a lot more realistic and harder. For instance, there's none of that little bit of auto-aim that all first-person shooters have on the consoles, because analog sticks are a bit unwieldy. It aims wherever you're pointing at the time, which means that it's actually a bit harder to get your shots off, and you need to conserve your ammo. And this sounds like an attack, but this is actually a really good thing. It makes fights intense and really worrying, and also really rewarding when you do them well. I won't go too much into that one though, but I do recommend. I will say, it did have some issues in things like frame rate. I don't think it ever reached 30 frames a second. And this is on an Xbox One. So, but it does also have like half a year before it comes out, if not more. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I do recommend you all keep an eye out for that, because it seems like it's going to be quite something. Next game, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You all know about Assassin's Creed Syndicate if you're into games. Lots of people on YouTube have been doing little bits of gameplay in it, and some have kind of done like first impressions. And basically I'm going to give you mine on what I don't think they've covered enough. Now, quick disclaimer, I was playing on the PlayStation 4, and I am not a PlayStation guy. I am Xbox and PC. Nothing against the PlayStation, I just personally don't like the controller, and this means that I can't tell you if it felt good, because although it didn't to me, I was using a console that naturally doesn't feel good to me. So, that aside, I'll tell you what I do know about the game. First up, the grappling hook is brilliant. It's intuitive, it gets you places faster, and it doesn't feel like a gimmick. It feels like an extra part of your movement, as opposed to just another thing that you have to keep on using to get places because you can't reach them without it. You can. It's just like, it accelerates you sort of thing. It's really fun too. And the animations are great. You like abseil up if you're going directly up, or you'll pull yourself forwards if you can't zipline that way. So that's good. The combat's really nice and visceral. A lot of people have gone into it. I'll just say, all around I really enjoyed the game, but, this is a big but for me, there were some issues graphically in terms of glitches. For instance, at one point Jacob's hair would phase through his hood. Now, normally this wouldn't seem like much, especially as it hasn't come out yet, but it's about to come out in less than a month. It's coming out this month. And it's the same engine that made Unity, and you all know how Unity went. It was pretty well covered. So I'm a little bit worried, and that automatically meant I wouldn't pre-order it. Personally, I wouldn't suggest any of you pre-order it. I would wait until after release, wait for some people to do some reviews, then decide from whatever they say. Next game is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Oh man, it was something else in the best possible way. So again, I played it on PlayStation 4 because they've lent towards the PlayStation 4 this Call of Duty. No one really knows why. It's probably graphics, but not the point. So again, I wasn't in my element with the controls. I wasn't at my best, and I had some issues with them. Having said that, it still managed to feel perfect. They nailed the whole game. I like COD. I'll say that now, as a disclaimer. I don't love COD. I don't play it online, ever. I get it on my Xbox, but I don't have gold because I don't want to pay for it. I play it split screen and, I guess, campaign, but that's not why I buy it. But mainly split screen in zombies. And it is so much fun. It is unbelievable how much I enjoyed that. I went in twice with my friend, and he's a Battlefield player, and he actually said when we left, as much as he hates to admit it, this is a really, really good game. That's a direct quote. So, from a Battlefield player, that means quite a lot. It is so much fun. Everything in the game is overpowered in the best way. Like, it means it's balanced, but it certainly doesn't cancel itself out. Everything kills everyone. It's so good. It's great fun. Massive recommendation. I've already pre-ordered it. I'll be doing Let's Plays on the channel in it, and hopefully, if my friend is willing, I'll be doing drunk Let's Plays in it as well at some point. That also comes out this month, end of this month. Final game that I'm going to talk about, because I didn't get to play all of the games that were there, but the final game I'm going to talk about is The Division. I got to play a bit of The Division. Now this one I was playing on Xbox One, so I was in my element. It felt good and all of that stuff to me. So, I can tell you what I actually thought about the game totally. Graphically, we'll start off with graphics. I've never seen a game almost reach photorealism before. This is the best realistic graphics I've ever seen in a game. Ever. Without a doubt in my mind. Some people have been complaining, oh, it's like, you know, it's less than the trailers and all of this business. I haven't noticed that. When I played it, it looked stunning. If anything went down, it would have been just for optimization issues, but seriously, it is just incredible how good it looks. The destruction physics as well, they are a really big bonus, because it's like small. It's not like Battlefield or Rainbow Six Siege, where it's like a big thing that it throws at you. It's not a gimmick, as I said before. It's just a small thing that you might not even notice, which is how it should be. It's a background effect. It's literally just there to put you, to immerse you more. And it works. And it does look good when you're looking for it. It's just, oh, nailed. So, graphically, it's already really good. The HUD is non-obtrusive and rather good looking, and it tells you everything you need to know. There are things you can do to highlight enemies through walls, and instead of having the full person highlighted that you often get in games, it just gets squares around where their joints would be, which means it doesn't, scream at you or anything, but it is there to help you. So that's great. I will say it didn't have the highest frame rate. It was going at about 30 frames a second with some occasional frame rate loss in really intense scenes, but it wasn't really that noticeable. Now, for the rest of this little talk I'm going to do about The Division, there are going to be pictures coming up here, again taken by Rachel and played by Riz. We couldn't get videos for legal reasons, and we also had to include him in the photos, again for legal reasons. I don't know why the latter one, and hey, I'm advertising that game basically. I should say I'm not at all sponsored by anything, and I'm legally obliged to tell you if I am. You could probably guess I'm not, because I can't afford it, or, you know, no one knows who I am yet. But, yeah, so, I'm not sponsored, this is honest opinion, and yeah, sorry about the also quality of the picture. Again, it was just because they were taking a picture of the actual screen. That doesn't always work properly. But you can see it well enough. There's some great photos of when he got hit by a Molotov. Or we fought flamethrower guys, but we're going to talk gameplay now. It's solid. It is beyond solid. This is... I only played it fairly recently, so it could be that that's still what's changing my views here, and I'll say that now. But this is the best game I've ever played in my life. Ever. And I've played lots of games. It's so much fun. It looks amazing, as I said, but gameplay-wise, the shooting is perfect. It's a cover-based shooter, but if you're caught out of cover, you're not totally defenseless. There's still plenty of things you can do to survive, and even beat your opponents when you do it. And it means that you'll also flank a lot more, which is better. it's always good when you're flanking a team-based sort of game. So that's just the shooting and such. Now, one thing that some people won't like, but personally I love, is the damage system. Similar to like Borderlands, when you shoot at enemies, they have health bars, and even if you get headshots, it probably won't kill them unless you have a really good gun. I was using a semi-automatic rifle for most of it, and it was the most damaging gun that they had let us use. They created classes and characters for us. In the game, you'll be able to make your own, but they'd done this for us just for the demo. So I had this semi-automatic rifle. It would take at least 2, maybe 3 headshots to kill someone with it. And that's not an attack to me. It actually feels satisfying. It also means that you still have to kind of conserve your ammo. It means that the gunfights last longer and look better. And the numbers that come up, I should say, they don't like scream and break you out of the immersion or anything. They're just there, and you can see them if you want to, or you can just ignore them. They're not in-your-face kind of things. They're really good. So I really like that. Other people might not. That's fine. That's why I'm telling you. There's also abilities that each character can have. You can hold 2 at once. I don't know how many abilities there are in the whole game. According to the trailers, there's a shit ton. But I don't know how many there are, really, because I haven't used it. I only used the 2 that they let me use, which were a sticky launcher and the bomb you see in the trailers that they roll at enemies. And they're really fun to use. They're not overpowered or anything. There's like, the other 2 classes had a pulse that lets you see the enemies through walls, like I said before, but it doesn't last long. There was a medic grenade, fairly simple, and there was a sentry gun, which is good, but you can flank it and it can be destroyed pretty quickly. So nothing's overpowered, everything, but they do replenish infinitely, which you'd think would make the Seeker Mine really, really, really overpowered. But first off, it can't kill you in one hit, unless possibly you hug it. I didn't see anyone do that. You can stop it, you can dodge out of the way, so it is possible to survive it easily, and the recharge time is massive. I never got to use it twice in one life. So, huge props for the gameplay. Final thing I'll talk about it is the AI. You fight 3 enemies in the game. The first enemies are called Rikers. They're like prison escapees, and they are immediately hostile. Now, before you get there, before they've noticed you, they are doing their own thing. They're like taking selfies, they're shooting corpses, they're having fun, they're messing around with each other, and they're proving that they're totally insane. And they look really good. They look like a rather crazy human being would look in this sort of situation, which is already good. That's great animation. When you attack them, they immediately fan out. There's a sniper that'll keep you in cover. One of them will be constantly firing to make sure you go down while the others try to flank you. It feels great. They look like they know what they're doing. It's very believable. The second opponents we fought were cleaners. They have flamethrowers. They're a higher level than us, but if you take out the thing on their back, they'll explode and insta-kill them. They, again, they were the same, basically. I mean, they were harder and they acted a little bit differently because they had flamethrowers, so they didn't use cover or anything. They'd walk at you and just keep you down with flame, while one of their submachine gun guys would go around and try to hit you from the side. The flamethrowers did heaps of damage. It was really intense to fight them, and they looked amazing. The fire physics are just astonishing. Again, there's another picture of that somewhere. So that looks really, really good. And the third enemies, when I attacked them, and they started to flank me, I hadn't actually realized at the time that I was now versing the other players in the match. I genuinely thought this was still AI, because they were no different. The AI was that good. I had to actually be told by the person who was overlooking our little squad. So the AI is top-notch. It's brilliant. Quick thing, we did play in a squad, and this is a game that you should play with teammates. You can play it on your own, absolutely, but it is a lot of fun to use teammates, and it's really good to use tactics. It feels natural to do it, to just flank. We would often do moves that we didn't expect to do them. We weren't talking to each other at any point. We had microphones, but none of us really realized it. Occasionally we'd say there's an enemy over there or something like that, but generally we just acted, and we did it in unison. We'd have the person put down a sentry gun while I went a bit further away with my rifle and the other person went forwards to the side to flank them. The sentry gun would keep them in cover. The person trying to flank them would shoot at them. If they started to take damage, the enemy, I mean, if the enemy started to take damage, he'd start to run out of cover right into the way of my sniper rifle, which I'd hit him with, and take him down with whatever health he had left. And I'd fire as many shots as I needed to. So it feels, and we didn't talk about that plan. I didn't even know the people I was playing with. It was just that easy to do. So it is, I pre-ordered it on the spot. It's coming out next March. I do recommend as many of you pre-order. I got it on PC, and it's where I'll be playing. Hopefully I'll be able to get quite a few friends to play with me when I do the Let's Plays. Yeah. that's all the games from EB Expo, and that's everything I really have about the EB Expo, so all I have left is a couple of things about the channel. Now, first thing I already talked about, I'll be doing Black Ops 3 kind of soon, and that's something I'm really looking forward to, and I'll be doing lots of videos on that as quickly as I can. Second thing, as I said, I made a couple of friends at EB Expo, really good friends, and basically, they're really big fans of Rust and Ark Survival Evolved and similar games like that, and just general shooters like Insurgency. So I'm going to be playing a lot with them, which means I'll be able to play with, I don't think quite, but like, I'll be able to play with like around 7 people in one match that I know and can talk to, and they might not, they probably won't record themselves, that's fine, you probably won't be able to hear them either. I'll be the one that we're focusing on, but that's all good, that's up to them. Point being, we'll be able to do more teamwork stuff, and it means I can play Ark Survival Evolved properly, as opposed to what I had been doing, which was doing it in solo mode and all of this stuff, and it wasn't working out really. So this is really good. Good stuff. 2 final things. The second last one is, I have a new microphone. Now you can't hear it right now, because I'm not using it right now. That's because in order to use it, I have to be kind of close to it, like this. And that's not bad. It's actually a really, really good microphone, but it gets in the way of my face physically. And even when I have the camera to the side, it still looks a little weird, and the light kind of goes onto me, and it looks funky. So I'm not using it for when I do this. When if I can get it to work at a bit longer range, I'll be doing it in normal Let's Plays, and I'll definitely be using it when I don't have my face in for multiplayer matches. Final thing, you've probably noticed that I haven't been uploading as commonly as I want to. And I do want to. I am having serious troubles with internet recently. That's just a heads up. I'm still trying, I promise, and it's I hope you're still enjoying the videos I am releasing. Some of them I quite like as well, like the Rocket League one, that was my favourite video so far. And that of many others apparently. But yes, I am still trying. Sorry about the delays, hopefully it'll speed up soon. Hopefully before March next year, for obvious reasons, I'll have better internet, but we'll see. So, thank you guys very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please click the like button below. If you really enjoyed it and you want to see more, feel free to click the subscribe button below. As always, each and every one of you looks fantastic today. I am Dan the Suitman, lacking a suit, and I am tootling off. Bye.